what's your take on this argument of INEC's participation, INEC being aware, INEC not being aware? What's your take? I'm sure you've seen that headline.
Yes, I've read the headline. I even heard paper reviews this morning, and I'm beginning to wonder the role of Independent National Electoral Commission in political parties' activity. If you look at the sections of our Electoral Act, it is very clear the role of INEC. And for me, I'm not aware that INEC is a spokesperson for any political party. I'm also not aware that INEC is an arbiter for any political party. I have said this over time that the moment we begin to build stronger people, stronger men,
then we weaken the institutions.
INEC, for me, is an independent body, agency created by our constitution, and INEC has a spokesperson who is in Abuja, and I do not think it is right for the INEC rec to be speaking more than the commission. Let the commission speaks. And that being said, I think as a public servant, my friend and brother, comrade Mike Igini, should reduce his level of public appearance on public issues, because he is making a picture look like he has a personal interest that shouldn't be.
Yeah, people are asking that question.
Why do I say this? I say this because as a public servant, you are supposed not to be seen. Yes, not to be seen.
Okay.
But being heard.
Okay.
You will not see a public servant come out openly to be involving in activities that has to do with politics.
You can only
have a bureaucratic process that runs, and INEC is not recognized in state offices. INEC is an institution that is based in Abuja, and everything is done in Abuja office. The law, of course, specifies that you have INEC commissioners in the state who are responsible to the national chairman of INEC, and it is when you have an issue, you submit your petition, your report to the INEC office in Abuja. If INEC is to be sued today, they are going to sue the INEC office in Abuja, not the state, not the branch. So for me, the moment our comrade Mike Igini, who is my brother, who has been in activism with me over the years, begin to go into the political fray, he creates different intentions, it makes me to begin to see different insinuations. So I would advise that INEC should draw a line. If INEC was asked, assuming I have read his interviews, not just one, more than one on this matter and every other matters as political parties in the state. I have this morning, I was saying to somebody, I said, I have read so much about Mike Igini in Akwa Ibom. I have not read much about other recs in the country. Is it that there is no other recs who are also vocal or enlightened as Mike Igini in Akwa Ibom? Mike Igini should, if you have submitted a report to your headquarters in Abuja, let the report be there. Let the headquarters act. Coming out to tell the public what you have submitted, the detail of what you have submitted in Abuja, what you think, what should be. It is for me completely becoming too monotonous. You should try to reduce the level of your involvement. INEC is a commission. What he is simply saying is that the primaries that produced DIG Ekudum in the zone is the one that INEC has, that INEC witnessed, and that INEC did not participate in the rerun that produced Dr. Gospel Akpabio. That for me, that it was the head of INEC legal team that led the team that went to connect with for that particular primaries. Now let me round up. Let me evolve my thoughts.
Okay.
Now he said that it was the INEC head of legal team that led a team that went to the one that was conducted by the party that produced the IG Ekbodum.
But the report was submitted. That's the question I'm asking. The question I'm about to ask, and I'm hopeful that we will get the opportunity to speak with Barrister Mike Igini himself one day. We will make that move so that we can clarify. Now, there are factional issues, and the court case. You remember that court case which has affirmed, Stephen Leon Tugebo as the validly recognized chairman of the APC in Akwa Ibom State. Now, the election, Igini says, produced a was conducted by which APC?
That is why I have said
it looks as though he doesn't want to recognize what you call a Stephen Leon Torebo as the chairman, and so it's ultra-vise, if you ask me.
If you allow me to evolve my thought, I would have been able to lay a foundation so that the public would not be misled. I am not holding brief for anybody. I am not also holding brief for Inec. That is why we are still will be organizing a public lecture to educate the public, even Inec on their duty. We are going to educate Inec and political parties and the voters as agencies on their role. These are all stakeholders that play a role in what will produce our leaders through democratic means. Now, what I was trying to say is that I wasn't there either to monitor, to know which faction did which primaries. But my take is simply that he, in his interview, said that it was a legal team of Inec that went to, that the head of legal team that led a team that went to monitor the primaries that took place, that produced the IG Ekudom as the senatorial candidate of the APC in the district. Now, that the rerun that was conducted, that the fact that if you are to hold a rerun, that it has to do with those who were in the first primaries that you have cancelled. And Inec is not aware that the primaries that produced Ekudom was cancelled. I am not in contest with that. I'm not speaking for. I'm simply saying the Inec in Akwa has submitted their report, like he said, to the headquarters Abuja. You allow the report to be there. Let the matter be handled at Abuja office. You don't come back to be telling us the content, the detail of what you have done, and you begin to tell the public that this particular faction is this, is that. For me, it's completely inconsequential. If Inec is to be sued today, Inec office will be sued, not Abuja, not the state office. And so my advice to public office holders like my friend and comrade Mike Igini, who has also been a very strong activist who fought for democracy along with others, should not be seen in the political arena. He should not be one to speak for any of the factions. He should just allow his report lie in the Abuja office. Then the parties concerned will now submit their own counter report or whatever they have. If the parties are not okay with that, if Inec and the party have disagreement, they can have resort to court, where the court will now become an arbiter to decide whether Inec action is right or wrong. But where you have submitted your report in Abuja office that the primaries took place and this person emerged, and you are coming back to tell us a press briefing and be telling the public that this policy faction was not working. For me, you are eating up the polity. That's what I think. You are a public servant that is being paid by taxpayers' money, and you should allow your office not to be seen in the political arena. Be silent in what you are doing. Submit a report to your office like you have done, and allow your office to act on it. That's the truth about it.
Okay, Untwikon, well, I like one thing you said there, and then we're just going to wait, because of course you made a very valid point that if Inec were, to be sued today, they will not be suing Akwa Ibom State Inec. They will be suing the Inec headquarters,
exactly,
which is in Abuja. And of course, I believe you've driven your point home, and I do hope that.
And let me even add this. Political parties are registered offices in Abuja. You don't register parties in the state. You have Akwa Ibom APC, Rivers State PDP, Sokoto PDP. No, you don't have those state offices. The constitution recognizes the parties as per their Abuja, their head office. So if the office is to sue, it is the office of the party national chairman that will file a suit against whether Inec or any other entity. These are procedures that ought to be followed. So what I'm simply saying is, it is not the duty of Inec in the state to decide and conclude which party, which faction should have a candidate or who should not. What the Inec representative in the state should do at any instance, like the constitution, like the law says, section 31 to 34 of the Electoral Act 2022, simply say that Inec may observe party primaries. It's not a must. Now I must come in as a lawyer, but I'm saying that it says May. Now when you say when it is May, INEC may choose to be are there or not. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not holding brief for either INEC or for PDP or APC. But I'm simply saying that the moment the institutions like INEC in the state level begin to be throwing its heart into the ring, you see of the politics. Let's first Sokoye, who is the INEC national spokesperson, speak on this matter. I am not saying that if the Igini has submitted a report, it's not the Igini that submitted a report, it's INEC in the state. So let us try to detach the personality attached to the INEC and say INEC in the state has filed a report in Abuja INEC office, and that INEC office in Abuja act on that report where the party affected feels discontent. They can approach INEC, and when INEC is unable to resolve it, they can approach the court that will now resolve the matter. And don't come out to be speaking and you are being quoted as a person, not as INEC. And for me, when you do this, you seem to paint the picture that you have a personal interest and you use of the policy, and then you create tension in the state.
Okay. Now, from one case to another, because as they've said, while I know they finish, and this while as they cut across political parties, I'm going to leave the APC and go straight to the PDP now, where we have another wahala in the offing, and that is the wahala of the certificate forgery issue involving Umoino. And this in itself is causing a conversation across board. It's making people ask questions. Now, this, according to the Mail, right? Umoino's forgery case, Udon plots Akamukun's suspension from the PDP. Now, that's what the headline from the Mail says. The question, now let me read the entire headline. It says, Umoino's forgery case, certificate forgery case, that is, Udon plots Akanukun suspension from the PDP as aspirant ward chapter chairman summoned. Now, Otwiko, when you hear headlines like this, aside from the sensationalism attached to casting headlines, from the newspaper perspective, if this is anything to go by, what kind of reaction do you think this will elicit?
As a journalist, I think that report, from the way it is couched, the headline, I would think is speculative. I think it's
another sensational
report that is also going to heat up the polity and create tension. I would rather say that what matters are in court. Parties are advised not to do action that will sub judice, because one could be cited for contempt. Exactly. If for instance, someone has approached the court and is asking for a pronouncement, for a redress or a pronouncement, it is the duty of the court to make a pronouncement after having heard from all parties. The fact in issue is the issue of alleged certificate forgery, and I have read the response or the counter affidavit filed by the person concerned. So I do not think it is right for the media to come up with a report that will heat up the tension, the polity in the state, and make it look like the governor is, the governor is condescending to the report that this man has. It's as if when see that report as a journalist, anyone who see it from a bystander will think that it is true that this man actually forged the certificate. That is what which is still in court. So why don't you allow the court to make the pronouncement, and then you can now follow your party machinery to see what you can resolve. But when the report has come out, you seem to further heat up the polity and make it look like the allegations are true, which I believe I have read one counter affidavit and counter position on the matter, and it is now left for the court to look at the fact before it and come up with a position. So for me, that report is more sensitive and it's more speculative.
Twickham, forgive me. I'm not trying to drag this issue because, of course, this is political party affairs, and as you said, it's a subjudice. But there are persons who have said, okay, fine, why don't you produce the certificate? They just shut everybody up. Produce the certificate. Is that a good argument?
President Buhari was alleged not to have possessed school set, and that matter lingered. At the last day, God made the pronouncement, certificate came out. So sometimes politicians have a way of doing these things. Let me tell you the truth. The moment this issue lingers, it also sells the candidature of Omoyeno. Like with more sympathies, more sympathies for and more against him. It is in two ways. So politicians would either want to be marketed by this other camp, and the more it is going, people will be going in to see. And the questions will be asked.
Scandal sells.
Sells better.
Yeah,
bad news flies. Bad news flies. So and people want to know who is this Omoyeno.
And so doing the popularity.
That is the point. So it happened to President Buhari, and he is still in office. He has not been removed. So I would rather prefer that the matter is sub judice. The court is to make pronouncement on it. Let us allow the court to make pronouncement. But when you come with media report that are speculative, you will hit on the point and you create more tensions in the state.
So invariably, that's another sensational headline.
Exactly.